Purdy, a big game this week on a number of fronts. Dustin Fletcher, which we'll touch on in a moment, Dreamtime at the G, but also a very significant game in the context of the season against Richmond, and you haven't made any changes. The boys have obviously pulled up well from the win against Brisbane.
Yeah, look, it's fortunate we didn't have to make changes. When you have a 10-goal win against another side, you play reasonably well, and everyone's pulled up well. So we're able to keep the same team, which is positive. And you're right, it's a huge weekend for us. Obviously, Fletcher's 400th game, massive thing for the club, but also for Dustin, one of our greatest players in the history of our football club. So it's a great celebration there, and the Dreamtime game is something that's very special to all of Australia, but to Richmond, to Essendon fans and players, and coaches and the people around the club. It's a really important game, an important day. So a lot of reasons to play well. Big crowd at the MCG on a Saturday night. Who wouldn't want to be there?
You've played alongside Dustin Fletcher, and also now you're coaching him. What have you admired about his career?
Well, there's so much to admire. I think his competitiveness is the most admirable thing, the way he competes week in, week out and hates getting beaten. He's obviously got a lot of talent, reads the ball exceptionally well, knows how to position himself, and is just a good person, a good, steady person who looks after people. But in a football sense, when someone's as competitive as Dustin, you know that they're going to get the best out of themselves, and 400 games is incredible effort.
Essendon's pressure last week on the ball carrier was really strong, particularly after quarter time. Will that be another key to quelling the influence of Jack Riewoldt this week?
Yeah, look, if you give Jack, time, you give the players up the ground time with the ball, and you give Jack a lot of space, and he's a very good player. So he's damaging in those situations, but we obviously need to bring our pressure to the game, and energy levels need to be up. We need to make sure that we defend really, really well when we don't have the ball, and it's an important part of the game that every club realises. It's just how we convince our players to do it. Contested football, getting the ball going our way is obviously just as important.
So 21 goals from the Bombers last week. What do you think it was that the team did really well?
Yeah, well, when we got back in the contest in terms of our contested ball, we really, I think ground balls in the arcs we won quite easily, and that's a significant stat for us. Gives us first use of the ball, but then when we used the ball, we were selfless with the way we set up the ground, and we moved quite quickly with the ball without being ridiculously fast. So all those things combined to getting it in there, and then our forwards played really well. So Joey took some marks, Jakey Carlisle played well, Adam Cooney and Chappie gave us a bit of sort of something different up there, but also Jackson Merritt, Zach Merritt, Paddy Ambrose with their pressure meant it was hard for Brisbane to get the ball out.
You mentioned Jackson Merritt there. Obviously he's not getting a lot of the ball, but how important is that role, that defensive sort of forward pressure type role that he plays? Yeah,
look, you need speed around your forward line. When you turn the ball over in your forward line, which you do quite a lot because there's good defenders you're defending against. You want to win it back or put pressure on the opposition team. So Jackson's role in getting up the ground, getting back quickly, resetting the ground and putting pressure on the opposition has been really good for us in the last 2 weeks, and hopefully he'll continue that this week.
And finally, what about the build-up to this game? Obviously, it is significant with Dreamtime at the G and Dustin Fletcher. Has it been a bit of a different week? Have some different things been happening around the club this week?
Yeah, not so much. Fletch has obviously done his interviews, and everyone's sort of said their piece on Fletch, and we've kept it pretty normal from that point of view. Fletch is such an experienced player, we've kept it reasonably normal. But from the Indigenous side of things, Dreamtime, we've had some spear throwing, we've had some, tried some different foods. We had a special ceremony out in the ground, and some didgeridoo playing. So it's been interesting, and the guys have sort of looked at a lot of Aboriginal culture, and we try to do that every year, and I think a lot of the guys have a good understanding of the Aboriginal culture, but every year you learn something new, and it's terrific and really interesting.
All right, well, good luck to you and the boys this week, mate.
Thanks very much.